It's a very attentive audience, which is very refreshing, coming from JNU where half people are sleeping in the audience. Everyone knows about akhlaq, right? The person who was lynched. How many of you know about akhlaq? Could you raise your hands, please? Yeah, so that's about 90% of hands went up. How many of you know who was Savant Rathod? 5 hands. Who was Mukesh from Champaran? 2 hands. Who was Kitaram Bhil? 1 hand. Who was Junaid? 5 hands. Who was Farooq? 1 hand. These were people, Dalits and Muslims, who were lynched by Muslims. We don't know their names. They have been forgotten after pages of history books, but we know only akhlaq. Pause and wonder why that is so. In the last 1 year, there have been more than 100 attacks, lynchings, attempted lynchings by Muslim mobs on Muslims, on Hindus, on Dalits. They just don't appear in the news. They just slip away. There have been more than 36 attacks by Muslim mobs on Dalits, lynchings, attempted lynchings. We don't hear of them. So this is where you can have bad dissent. You can say that yes, lynchings are happening. But if you are selective about it, this leads to scaremongering. This leads to people believing that India has suddenly gone down the drain in the last 4 years, that all these things weren't happening before, all these things are happening now. That is one problem. The other, roughly I have about 4 minutes left, which is about fine, which is about this freedom of expression. And again, I would love to have a show of hands. And when we think of freedom of expression and stifling of freedom of expression, banning things, we normally think of Indira Gandhi. So how many of you think that Indira Gandhi stifled freedom of expression? Show of hands, please. Of course, emergencies, everyone. How many of you think Nehru, the paragon of freedom of expression, stifled freedom of expression? Yeah, so this is but I would say still half the hands are still in their pockets. And the reason for that is this kind of propaganda that has been let loose on us through books, through paid, sold out editors, through people who are, for want of a better word, PDs of the dynasty. Sorry about that. And the reason for that is that this one comment that Nehru made to a cartoonist, very famous cartoonist called Shankar. Now he was drawing the ire of a lot of political leaders for the cartooning that he was drawing of cartoons he was drawing of them. Whereas Nehru said, "Don't spare me, Shankar." Now this kind of phrase has been immortalized, that it is actually Nehru who stood up for being lampooned by these people and who was always. So let me now, I have 3 minutes left. Let me narrate the state of freedom of expression under Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. First Amendment was brought in, reasonable restrictions, incitement, disruption of public order. Poet Majru Sultanpuri was jailed for 1 year for calling Nehru Hitler ka chela. First democratically elected communist government in Kerala was dismissed. Congress president said communist parties wouldn't be allowed to participate in general elections. Stanley Wopert's book 9 Hours to Rama was banned. The book Chandra Mohini was banned. Audrey Menon's The Ramayana was banned. Campbell's The Heart of India was banned. Koestler's The Lotus and the Robot was banned. Import of any newspaper that undermined friendly relations with foreign states was banned. Aziz Beg's Captive Kashmir was banned. Frischler's Aisha was banned. Bertrand Russell's Unarmed Victory was banned. Robson's 9 Hours to Rama was banned. Sardanvi's Marke Somnath was banned. Robert Taylor's The Dark Urge was banned. Selling Lady Chatelier's Lover was banned. The book What Has Religion Done for Mankind was banned. Ratnath's Bhupat Singh was banned. Import of any obscene drawing or painting was banned. Mrinal Sen's film Neer Akshar Niche was banned. Menon's Rama Retold was banned. Tony Hagen's book Nepal was banned. The RSS organizer was censored. Its publishers prosecuted. Film Gokul Shankar was banned. Godse's Testimony was banned. Goswami's Runumi was banned. Historian Dharampal was jailed for criticizing Nehru post-Indo-China war. Release of 1962 war film Bhul Na Jana was blocked. President Rajendra Prasad's speech was barred from distribution. Harmonium was banned from AIR. Draconian Press Objectionable Act was passed. Columnist Vivek was fired. His column critical of Nehru discontinued. HT editor Durga Das was fired. His column critical of Nehru discontinued. Congress leaders demanding Nehru whose resignation were arrested and jailed. Ads to Times of India were discontinued for speaking against government policy. Magazine Crossroads was banned. Play Nigalene Komistaki was banned. Its actors arrested. Hindi film songs were banned from being played on the AIR. Congress demanded a ban on the iconic film Pakasarthi. Film Nastik was banned. Western pop music was banned from the AIR. People's Theatre Association was banned. Play Harpita Master was banned. Film Ganga Jamuna was blocked. Sarat Chandra Chattopadhyay's play Mahesh was banned. Tagore's play Gora was banned. Balraj Sahni's play Jadoo Ki Kursi was banned. Tagore's play Besarjan was banned. Pradeep's film song was deleted. 2 songs from Fir Subah Ho Gaye were banned. Editor Prahlad Keshav Atre was jailed for writing critical article. Film Jugnu was banned. Film Jharna was banned. Under Jawaharlal Nehru. And when I asked who was more responsible for stifling freedom of expression, Indira Gandhi or Nehru, most of the hands said Indira Gandhi. This is the reason. Selectivity is going to be our bane. It is going to be the destruction of the knowledge that we are going to spread around young people. And that is why I will always have my praise for the younger generation and the social media. You are the real warriors. You are going to put all these people and all these politicians to shame. Thank you.